event that was happening at the EP College of Education in Bimbilla, and I got opportunity to be a commentator in their program. I was emceeing it, and then he came around and he was marveled by what he was hearing from, because a young chap like me, he didn't understand. There was no radio at that place, so he was wondering where I got all the information I had during that time. So, in fact, when I heard he was around, I introduced him. I went closer to him to give him the mic, and he said, "No, Charlie, let me sit back and enjoy your commentary." So he told me that anytime I come to Tamale, I should visit GBC Radio Savannah. So I completed school in 2005, went to Tamale, and that was where I got the opportunity to start my radio. In fact, he gave me a lot of opportunity. From 2005 to 2011, then I moved to ZA Radio.
ZA Radio, that's
From ZA Radio, the following year, I moved to Kesmi FM. Kesmi had a sister station, Amana Radio, in fact, which was basically local. So I moved there as well. I was actually combining English and Dagbani. And then in 2017, I moved to Angel FM. In fact, that was a subsidiary or a branch that was opened up in Tamale. So I joined Angel FM in 2017, and then 2018, I moved to where I am currently, Bango FM.
I guess there has been a lot of money involved, eh?
Oh, not really. In fact, radio in the north is not like what you guys experience here. Anytime we move down here, look, we always salute you, and we wish that owners of media houses in Tamale or in the north will have the opportunity to come down to the south and get that experience. Because to be honest with you, we are far behind in terms of radio programs and any other activity when it comes to radio in the north. We are far behind, and I think that maybe going forward, a lot to be, because there is no much investment in there.
Now to club communication. Like you said, we got to meet for the first time in 2011, and then all of a sudden, boom, RTU, Director of Communications. You did a lot of work for them. How did that start?
Well, I started communication, becoming the club communication, I think same year in 2011 when Tamale Utrecht Football Academy, came into being. In fact, I had opportunity to work with the former RFA chairman for Northern Region, Abdullahi Al-Hassan Abu Moro, we all know. They have a club, a mother club in Utrecht, that is in Netherlands. And so there was that kind of partnership. And that was where we got the likes of Abdel Fattah Isaku, currently with Leicester City. I met him when he was just 13 years at Utrecht. And by then he had won the best player in the Milo tournament in Ghana. They went to Nigeria. He won the best player there as well. So he really got the attention at a very, very young age. And I'm not surprised, though, where he's gotten to. And so that was where I started. I worked with them for like 4 years and then became the communication director for Northern Ladies Football Club.
Oh, really?
So from Northern Ladies, then I joined RTU in 2016. Then 2018, 2019, we got promotion into the Premier League. 2 years after that, then Karela came to Tamale. Fortunately, RTU went back to Division 1. And so the coach by then, Shaibu Ibrahim Tanko, recommended that with the experience I have in terms of communication, I will be fit into Karela United. And so his recommendation was really approved, and I joined Karela 2 seasons ago. So it's not been quite easy, but I think that we are doing our best to ensure that, we put the club at that level.
What has been the biggest challenge, talking about club communication? Now you've moved from RTU to Karela. Comparative.
Well, it depends where you go. For instance, at Utrecht, I was given the free role. I got a lot of support from management. And so it was quite easy. We had a website, and, whatever you needed, you get it. When I moved to Northern Ladies, the story was different because financially the club wasn't that there. And so even to get quality phones, to take quality pictures, to write stories, and it was difficult. Same at Real Tamale United. And that was the biggest, to me, is the biggest challenge in terms of communication. It's a club, it's a traditional club. They have the numbers. I think I would say in the whole 5 regions in the north is the biggest club. RTU, you can't take it away from them. However, the manner in which club management has gotten to is a bit behind. And so that is where we need to take it from. We need to understand that we have moved from the traditional system of managing teams to the modern, where every department of the team is recognized. During that time, it was difficult because, look, there were moments that if you submit your budget, you submit a budget for ways and means. Look, they will prefer to approve the ways and means budget to that of communication budget.
You don't mean it.
So this is where we need to move away from. Because to me, I think that by then, those are the hem of affairs. Especially, there was so much pressure from supporters. They wanted their own people to manage the club. However, those who came around, because I remember Dr. Nashiru, the former Bank of Ghana governor, and then Mr. Ibrahim Mahama were those who came on board. And they wanted the club to be streamlined in terms of, how things are done currently. But the pressure was too much from the fans. Eventually, they left. And it became very difficult. And I'm quite sure it's one of the reasons why, I still had to go back to relegation. However, they are putting things in place. They are currently leading the league in terms of Zone 1. And I will not be surprised, because if you look at the performances of late and what they are targeting, it shouldn't surprise some of us if they get back. But what I'm saying is that we need to do things properly. We need to understand that, look, football has become so modernized that there are a lot of things that we need to kick away and concentrate on doing things that will better us going forward. We're still holding on to the traditional way of doing things. And
the crude means of
that is. But at Karela United, I think that I am quite comfortable. Management is giving me all the support I need. And so if you go to our social media platforms, you think we have done a lot, but we still have a lot of improvement to make in terms of that department. And I think I have sent a few proposals that they are looking at. I don't have much problems, in terms of the work I'm doing at Karela United.
Fantastic. If you just tuned in, you're live on Radio Gold 90.5 FM. We are speaking to the communication director of Karela United, Sey Mubarik. He's been with RTU before. So if you look at the political arena, if you look at the business arena, all the sectors, they are big boys from the north, they are big boys from Upper East, Upper West. Would you say these big boys have failed that region in terms of football development or sports development? We are talking football, so football development.
Well, you need to understand and take it from a perspective that people will, tone to. One, these big boys you are talking of, what is their interest area? That is one thing you need to understand. If the person doesn't have interest in sports, it will be difficult for that person to invest in sports. You see politicians investing in sports, and it is because for some reasons they are beginning to have passion for sports. If I'm going to use my owner, for instance, the current Minister for Education, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, he wasn't a football person. You understand? He had a club he supports outside, but he went into mainstream football, when he started developing that passion. You understand? It's been a while, but I think that such personalities will, for now, want to use their resources into football because of what they are getting. And nobody will tell me that Honorable is not getting anything from football. Yes, he's investing, but I think that the transfer of Abdel Fattah Issahaku alone to Leicester City is a big achievement for him, because he took him from Utrecht, decided to put him in his club, Steadfast. Before he purchased Karela United, that was his Division 1 club. And this guy worked so hard. He made sure this guy didn't lack anything at all. And where he is, I think it's a big achievement for Honorable. So such a person will always want to invest. But the others who don't have that interest in sport, it's always difficult. It's not that we don't have people who have money in the north, but they don't have that interest. No matter how much you try to convince them, they won't come close because they don't have that passion. Sometimes they ask themselves, what are they going to get from it? You understand? So we always want to use Honorable as an example. Sometimes when we do programs, we try to let the public understand the impact and then, of course, the benefit of investing in sports. So we are hoping that in the near future, yes, I know some politicians have decided to use their monies to build AstroTurf, to construct, facilities that will engage the youth and what have you. But to go to mainstream football in the north, I think that it's only Honorable who is doing that.
Wow.
And we're hoping that the others will emulate. Because for Karela United as the only club in the north, look, sometimes more attention is given to the team because if Karela is relegated, I don't think we will see Hearts of Oak. I don't think we'll see Kumasi, Santi Kotoko in Tamale or any part of the north. And so we need that support to be able to maintain our status in the league. And hoping that Tamale City, Northern City, RTU, who are making headlines in the Division 1 at this moment, will also make that jump. You see, we think that sports development will go up when we have more Premier League clubs in the north. It is only Karela now. And even if you go to Karela, you ask yourself how many of the are from the north or from the north who are in the club at the moment.
That's the question.
We need to develop the talent in the northern region. We need to develop talent in Ghana. We have not decided, we don't have that objective that we just want to groom players in the north. We are looking at anywhere in the country where there is talent. We bring them on board, give them the best of training. In fact, I will say that has affected us a little bit this season because that was the decision that was taken by management. I think there was no broader consultations in terms of what the technical team was bringing on board. Because in our league, you can't play the Ghana Premier League with small boys.
Not at all. You affected Wafa and
you can't play the Ghana Premier League with small boys.
You experience.
That affected us in the first round.
Okay.
Because that was the objective of the coaches, that they want to scout young talent, give them that training and put them in the market. But it got to a time they realized that no, the boys are not strong enough to wrestle the other clubs in the Premier League because Kotoko have the experience, so when you meet them, they use the experience to get the better of you. And so we had to go back to the market. Players that we decided to offload last season, we are bringing them on board to give us that cushion because our position is not good. So for me, it's a crusade and it's a campaign that some of us have taken in the north that will continue to drum into the ears of politicians, people that, look, if you invest in sports, you reap it in the near future.
That's a good one. It's 3 minutes past 12. Now let's look at, we'll do Black Stars a bit, but let's look at Karela in perspective. Your owner, Honorable Haruna Idrisu, how helpful has he been? Because we know about owners in Ghana Premier League or Ghana Premier League clubs. They have their clubs and it's like they don't think about the club. They are somewhere, the club is somewhere. How helpful has he been?
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to find a phrase, an adjective to describe this man, honestly speaking, because he's the soul man. I'll put it that because with the exception of getting sponsorship from KGL, and that was even before the start of the second round. For all these years, he's been the man investing in the club.
Single-handedly?
Single-handedly. No support from anywhere.
Wow.
Yes. So that is why I'm saying I'm trying to look for an adjective to describe him because he's been very helpful. There are situations, look, he will come to the dressing room and tell players that, look, I pay better. Kotoko Hearts can go 3 months, 4 months without paying their players. Yes, though they pay huge monies to their players, but Karela, he's doing so well. He's doing so well. and I must applaud him. We are getting a little bit support from KGL, and I think that is cushioning him at this particular moment. And I think it's good because, look, there are other places he wants to divert his investment to.
Of course.
You understand? So if you have more sponsors coming on board, look, it gives him that free role to properly use, because, look, he has a very big plot of land. He needs to invest. He has a plan of building an academy that will groom players. So if we are able to get sponsors who will come and take that load from him, then we have that belief that that resource will be channeled into developing that project. And I think he can do it. He is somebody who promises and will always deliver. If he comes to the dressing room and promise players that, look, win this game and I'll give you 30,000 Ghana cedis, the money is already there. Win it and take it. So, to be honest with you, he's been very helpful. Even before, look, even though he has his own club, he pays players, he pays management members, he pays technical team. But I tell you, he supports other clubs in the north.
He supports other clubs.
There are days RTU will come, to the stadium. Weekends when he's in Tamale, he goes to the stadium to train. There are days that is where they will camp before they probably will travel to wherever they are going. And he can't see RTU bars. He can't see players of the club, traveling and will not do anything. I have been a witness, because when I was with RTU, there were several moments. He had his club that we were competing with, Steadfast in the same Division 1, but there were moments that we had to rely on him to travel to play matches.
Hey,
and he would duly, give us what we need. So as for, it's not just for Karela United, but
he's for the north.
For the north.
Fantastic.
For the north, because he's been supporting a lot of clubs in the north, aside what he has, as his bona fide property.
Wow, if you just joined, we are live on Radio Go. Then speaking to us is Sey Mubarik. He's the communications director of Karela United. You've worked with a number of coaches. Abubakari Damba was assistant and an interim coach on 2 occasions. Jimmy Kobla has been there, and now it's Amadu Nuruddin. And who else? I've forgotten. In all these situations,
you had Shaibu
Ibrahim Tanko, fantastic. All these situations, what can you say about it? Changes in coach, the struggles of Karela United.
Sometimes I feel for coaches, because when things are not going well in clubs, they are always the targets when it comes to putting people aside. You can't touch players because you have contract. Yes, you may have contract with coaches, but you look at the number of players you have signed. You cannot say that I'm just going to, terminate the contract of 12, 13 players in a squad. It is not feasible, because the investment that will go alone, you have signing on fees you have not paid. You have arrears in terms of salaries and bonuses. And then you have to terminate players who have signed contract 2 years, 3 years. It definitely is untouchable when it comes to that aspect. So always the coaches are on the receiving end when things are not going well. Look, even if you have the best coach and things are not going well, you will have to sacrifice the coach. It's not that Abubakar Damba, Jimmy Kobla, and those who have come and gone are not good coaches. Sometimes you look at the materials you have. Sometimes they do their best to improve the performance of these players. But if it is not working, look, they become frustrated. Because he looks at his standard. I have coached Hasselhoek, I have coached Midiama, okay, and I had good times with these clubs. And so he doesn't understand why it is not working for him at Karela United.
Wow.
And so these coaches have come and they have gone. Not that they were not good, but the situation demanded that they step aside for others to come and then see if they will be able to transform. And it hasn't actually worked for the past 2 seasons. Because for me, I think Shaibu Ibrahim Tanko was the best during that period. He had quality players that he needed to just be given the time, okay, to transform these players. Unfortunately, that time was not there, and so he had to go. Abubakar Damba stepped in. We were fortunate we maintained our status in the league. But of course, the objective was that he will either be maintained as the head coach or promoted to that particular position, and we get an assistant coach. But management took a decision that no, let's get somebody with more experience, because Damba had not really managed any Premier League club before. He was assistant to Coach Abi Ibrahim Tonko, even in the Ninase when the club was still there before they moved to Tamale. And so they needed an experienced coach. So they brought in Jimmy James Cobbler. And that was where the decision of bringing in young players, grooming them to become stars and putting them in the market came in.
Wow.
They failed because the boys were not matured enough to play the league. And that was also the challenge. So sometimes it's not about the fact that these coaches are not good, but you also look at the materials you have. Now, Nuruddin Amadou is in.
Very experienced.
Unfortunately for him too, he came in when signings have been done in the second round. Yes, though we brought in a few experienced players because we had to go back and bring Fatah Mohamed, who was our captain last season. We brought back Maxwell Ajiman, Techi Welbeck. We brought back the likes of Awal Mohamed and other few players who have the experience in the league. In fact, he didn't come to meet or sign any player. And under normal circumstance, it is not done anywhere. You allow the coaches to, bring the players that they think they can work with. So he has to work with those who are around now. I have seen massive changes, I must admit. And I think that going forward, we will see the impact of his training and what he's brought to Karela United at this particular moment.
Well, we have two more questions to ask. One will be still on the Premier League and the other will be on the Black Stars. Then we activate the phone lines for you to join. Now you have a game against Accra Lions. Accra Lions has been, in fact, the whipping boys of this season's Premier League. They're bottom of the table,
Yeah.
Yes. You're up against them at the Legon Sports Stadium tomorrow. 3 points?
It's a big game. It's a big game because I remember in the first round, they came to draw with us at the Nasherge Sports Complex. In fact, they needed a last-minute equalizer to draw that game. We lost to Kotoko. We went away. We lost to Brekum Chelsea. Came back to play Accra Lions, and we drew that game. So, in fact, we did not have a good start to the season. However, we are picking up. I'm saying we are picking up because of what I saw in Pando. We lost against Heart of Lions by a lone goal. But what I saw in that game, if we are able to improve a bit against Accra Lions tomorrow, I don't think that we should have too much problem getting the 3 points back home. We have 2 home matches when we return to Tamale against Bichem United and then Legon Cities. These are matches that we think that we must actually do well to get the 3 maximum points because our position is not good. We are on the 17th position at the moment. And to get out of there, you need to win matches both home and away. In fact, we have not been good at all at home. To be honest, we have not been good at home. And that has culminated to our position in the league at this particular moment. Nonetheless, we need to continue to work hard. We need to continue to identify the challenges that we are having in this team because we are not scoring goals. We are not conceding goals as well, but we are not scoring. Because since the start of the league, this is week 24. We played like 24 matches. But I can tell you, it is only young apostles that have put 2 goals behind our net.
2 goals.
Even the likes of Kotoko, House of Folk could only get 1 goal past us. It tells you that we seem to have very good defense. But we are not scoring. Because if you look at the number of goals we have conceded and number of goals we have scored, you really know at the top there we are not doing anything. And so, like I said, the coach has to do with what he has, the material he has at this moment. And we are hoping that the players will pick up. I have the belief that, look, Karela will remain in the league. Honorable has a very good project for us, but we can only benefit from that project when we maintain our status in the league.
Okay.
And so we want to do everything we can.
To stay in the Premier
because to be honest, players are getting whatever they want.
Okay.
They are paid a week before the end of the month.
Wow.
Win matches and get your bonuses the next day. And these are huge promises that are there and that are actually met when it is done. Because if you win matches, look, the players even are lucky because they get 2 bonuses. One from the Ghana Football Association.
Okay.
That is the locker room bonuses.
Locker room bonus.
And then one from the club. And so the players are always eager. Because if you win 4 matches in a month, Master, you forget of your salary. You will depend on your bonuses. But that is not working at this moment. And so it is something we have been drumming into the ears. Look, every day, every match day, we try to put the league table on their platform for them to see our position. And so I'm sure that we'll get out of where we are. And if we do, honestly speaking, next season, it will be very, very tough for other clubs.
You'll be the club
for now, our objective is to maintain our status in the league. It is not going to be easy. Looking at our position and the matches ahead of us. But I think that we are going to suffer through that. But we will eventually achieve that objective of staying in the league. And then we plan towards next season. Of course, I know there are a lot of changes that will come our way and which we think will benefit us going forward.
16 minutes into 12. I wanted to chip in one more question, but let's do a little bit of Black Stars. They are up against Chad, God willing, on Friday. 15, 20 years back, here Chad and it's about a done deal. Here Madagascar is a done deal. But now we are seated on jagged edges. We don't know whether Ghana will win or not. Your take on that game?
I have high hopes that this game is going to be won by the Black Stars.
Niger beat us here.
Yeah. I have high hopes. Niger was in the African Cup of Nations qualifier. Look, we are all disappointed. But look at the attention that Ghanaians are giving to these qualifiers.
No, it's because of US and Canada.
Because it is a World Cup qualifier. I don't know whether you have gauged the environment, you have gauged the country, and seen the attention we are giving to these matches to that of what we used to give when they are playing in the African qualifiers. It is different.
Very different.
Yes.
Even among the players themselves.
Exactly.
It's different.
Exactly. So that is why I'm saying I have that hope that tomorrow we are going to win. Look, it is not just the win. When we put 4 goals, at the back of Chad, look, it will scare Madagascar. But when you win by a solitary goal, you are giving your opponents that opportunity to say, no, this Black Stars team is not the Black Stars we knew. We can rock. We met them. I think they are the team that, we didn't qualify to the next stage in the 2023 AFCON because of Madagascar. We played 2-2.
Yeah.
I was at the stadium that day. And honestly speaking, I wasn't the only journalist who was very, very angry. Almost all of us who were from here went to Ivory Coast to cover the African Cup of Nations. No one would say that he was happy for that draw. Because we thought that we had a team. We thought that, look, the Stars were going to shine. And in quote, it has been with us for some time. The spirit of the Black Stars qualifying from the group stages, finding it difficult, and then making headlines in the other stages of every competition they participate in. That was the mentality, that we struggled at the group stages, but when we get out of the group stages, teams that we face, look, always find it difficult. And so for me, I have that belief. Look, I have seen the players that Coach Otuado has called. And, following them, looking at their performances with their respective clubs across the world, I do not have that, I don't think that we will suffer that much against Chad. We don't need to underrate them, though. Like you said, Comoros, a country that Tamale is bigger than Comoros.
Yeah, of course.
But look at this nation, with all the population, with all the talent, with all the players that we have, yet we struggle against these teams. It's because, look, they are doing something that we are not doing at this moment. So that is where we need to look at. What is it that we are not doing at this particular moment? That the Black Stars cannot, score teams like Chad, Madagascar, and the rest by that margin of goals. In the early 80s, 90s, and even the early 2000s, Comoros couldn't have rock shoulders with the Black Stars.
They wouldn't come close.
So what is wrong? Look, I always think that our players will need to give off their best. People think that Europe or across the world is different. Okay, they are playing with different players. Thomas Partey will give you all the penetrating passes at Arsenal. Antoine Semenyo will give you that power at Bournemouth. And when they come here, it is different. Look, it is about the players' mentality. If the players are ready to give off, okay, I am telling you they will do it. I sometimes don't blame coaches.
Okay.
People think that the Black Stars' woeful performances of late is because of. I have a different view. Okay, if you go and bring Jose Mourinho, Pep Guardiola, Carlo Ancelotti, and your players are not committed, to be honest with you, you won't get the results that you want.
So it's not a matter of coaches.
So for me, I think that the players will need to step up. The president spoke at a point in time, and Ghanaians took him on because he had fired back to the players to let them understand that they are holding the whole nation. Okay. And as a matter of fact, we need to step up their game to ensure that the smiles that we used to have in 2006 when we went to the World Cup in Germany, in 2010 in South Africa, in 2014 in Brazil. Look, if you look at that time and the interest people had in the Black Stars, look, it has gone back. Why? Because we are not performing again. I don't think that we had better coaches those times, okay, than what we are having now. So it is a matter of trying to get these players on board, trying to let them understand that, look, they are holding the whole nation, okay? They are representing about 33, 34 million people. They have to go to the pitch. Wearing the colors of Ghana alone is a huge tax responsibility for you as a player. So that is the message we need to drive. That is the campaign that sometimes, look, Mufta, to be honest with you, the FA president doesn't play football.
Relax.
He plays his responsibilities. And
relax.
If he doesn't do that, he is taken on. So when players are not playing their responsibilities, we need to let them understand that you are not doing the right things.
Of course, if
even it goes back to club level.
If children go astray at home, certainly the blame stops with the father. And the father of Ghana football is Keto.
Yes, that is what I'm saying. And that is why I said that when he went to the players and told them, spoke to them, people took him on because, look, they didn't understand that at that time he was the father. And he was being criticized. You understand? Yes, though he's not the one doing the thing, but he's criticized because he's seen as the father.
Okay.
So if he goes to advise his kids to do what is right, I mean, we don't have to take him on.
All right, let me see if we will have some callers on. If you want to join, you can do so by calling in 0599-922-922 and 303492. You can talk about Black Stars and the Ghana Premier League. Black Stars and the Ghana Premier League. 303492, 0599-922-922. First call on the line. Hello?
Mr. Adamu.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon. Your name, where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm Yima from Amamole.
Yeah, Yima, talk to us.
Yes, I want to talk about Black Star, but please give me a little time. I'm the one I spoke about the transparency of the budget. After I left, you said something which I want to make a little comment.
No, it's about Black Stars and Ghana Premier League.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Black Stars budget there, Debbie. Mr. We can Black Stars budget by this time there. But topic question about grab I mean bisa away but yeah. That's about the captaincy issue. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Michael.
But bisa apart from Karela, we players we here and I say salary. Money, no performance are not the best. The only original because Ghana has a that's what I want to know. But about the Black Stars, and yes, you're committed. If you even don't do your things well, then you make a quality selection. So, we are committed. Just stay up here on time. Kuba tanga fila, si anymore, anyone visa committed no go Black Stars to happen. On to say, yeah, kasa ye local league, ye no. Ye Blasam, ye best rogusa. Yes, omuye me ye ma ye.
Thank you. Hello.
Obakobi.
Agbazuke.
Obakobi me mamu nyina.
Correct.
Obakobi onim. Enye ba se we no mu omu sika ana omu sika ndoso. It's about patriotism. Share Ghana players pe ewiase nyina omu ka no omu nye patriotic. Ghana the beer team beer country beer ni blaster bo beer who patriotism or the opposing team Ghanaian players they are never patriotic. Ghana player ben who say what devote say or no player no even from old players no yeah boy ye bibi dia boy current state of football or mining obi ni dia ho Algeria omuko World Cup obviously the men check African faculty Olympic Stadium Krono so obviously Amubusa from Pesicana. Ghanaian players are never patriotic. They should learn to be patriotic. Now when we are patriotic or mining soon medio meti you want say obi kwa be say won go la ma or mining soon but we nyama bebre but mining soon die everywhere here ube to me abobo to say Maradona Rusa Adana even Togo be say o 10 years and someone patriotic akra and we
na patriotism asikenim de say you
patriotism sika wo mu papa we patriotic che wo pia bonti ko bitumi to kacha wo pa bi sent bi na bia tama na obo akra asofo ona makola yetumi to fan channel yetumi musha TV bla 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 no bi ka say be di atare we ko se ye manika ko bi so opoku kobisa opoku okotoko oba edi ni ko garage ekoto of and blind the channel patriotism sika wo mu unya patriotica wagaza udia kakra no enko bebia be yin omunya patriotic na bibio mu ewiase bia ombenya omuni nyame yeduma.
Thank you very much Agbazuke. 0599922922 0599922922. A couple of guys are also watching on Facebook. Let me pick this one before I go on there. Hello. Yeah, Ajano one.
Yes, sir, Muftau.
Yes, sir.
Me and my pa, we did so for my Ghana. Mami chia Ghana supporters. Me and my husband say follow 40-40 in birthday.
Oh, sir.
And president of Ghana supporters. Follow 40-40. Me my papa one. And the birthday. Until the president will be a chian and that's what the hair Kaukudia, then yes, and people are yes. Then my play, papa, and I go, yes, float to me, say, etiquette, fire, create awareness that something big is coming to happen, something must happen, Until Yamaguso, they say, we operation when they were transported, Yamada, so
my operation work.
Operation, yes.
Operation. Hey, operation what?
Operation Conquer Charge. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6. Still counting. We can't afford to lose to even score 1. No way. So it's ongoing. Yes. The big was so
Yate Ajano. Hello. Hello? This one has dropped. 0599922922. This message says, good afternoon, Mufti. I think the guy in your studio has spoken very well. This is the kind of PR we need in Ghana football. I wish my dear Klawakra so folk should go for him and party from Alajo. Hey, Kraso folk. Hello? Yeah, hey, Charlie, now show final caller. I'm a tune go other side of her. They be besides Friday be I want what
so ne ejumapa mode ball man Ghana na and the panelists I want in the one Michiano pa haya Karela for PR Michiano akase bebre na ne kasa woka chat wo ansa na ube for life so no hono muna haya me the pan because Ye Ghana a blaster players na. I come some more blaster now. Munyo Makumo Munya the bomb blaster. Oma Mesika seminar at the Beijing when you can. Because I didn't mean about the Kayano. Last year, the old boy you are Kumu. Now bomb blaster. In Yam can see a cow no, and you Yam Ketwa. What my say? By a Musa to say some more bonsoon, Penny, the big cracker. I say a big cramamo is so many Namu blasta. Because Mubo say Namu qualify Namu tournament, say Alco, and that's a work up to say ya. Benefit the woman and your benefit to or one woman I could pay more on Kuranu in your pocket. Oh, and the friend place in the Sakonia be said, but they are Tom will start from some Mumbra now, Amunda boy, Ghana blasta. Or Muno Makumbo. You say coming Friday, we are market everybody. So we know Makumbo because I've called the now qualify and pass corner. Yes, no work out for this. So we come home, no we have the them, or we know Makumbo, we are Ghanaians. No Mutimi Bogana, qualify to work out. Maybe say a co work up. A majority be blessed. No offense, I can say, also, or would the young world get the actual Busa for. And tell us again, I dare say, so we know Makumbo, no, we know Makumbo with the ball, my Ghana. Maybe this or my Ghana, she said, but now, not the young baby, are now conquering. That's a pioneer, my palm, that's it.
I mean, Shrobe, that's where we draw the curtains on the phone-in segment. Sey Mubarik. We are wrapping up. In fact, we have wrapped up. We have 2 minutes.
Well, I must appreciate the opportunity you've given me. Well, it's my first time. I've been coming to Accra. For any time we have a game, I come around. But it's the first time I'm coming here. I'm really enthused. I appreciate the time you've given me. And I'm urging the few fans we have in town to come to the University of Ghana Stadium tomorrow. You know, we have a big game. I call it a big game because, look, our position is not good. We need to get out of that place, and we need to win that particular game. We have 11 players. However, we think that anytime we are playing the game, we have an extra player, which is the supporter. So we are urging our fans who are in town, our northern brothers and sisters, who are, when they get the opportunity, because I know tomorrow is a working day, nonetheless, we'll still need their support spiritually, financially, any support they can give to the club to survive.
If possible, physically.
Physically, yes. If they are there in their numbers, that'll be quite fine.
Fantastic. That was Sey Mubarik.
And let me thank you very much, Muftawa Adamu.
Sey Mubarik.
I'm hoping that next time, in fact, I went to Kwando. If I had gone back to Tamale, probably I would have brought some guinea fowl so that you enjoy it. But maybe next time.
Next time, I will surely come to Tamale.
Yes, you have to, because it's been a while.
It's been a while. Since 2011. It's been long. Hey. Thank you very much, Sey Mubarik, Communications Director, Karela United, formerly of RTU, formerly of Tamale Utrecht. My name is Adamu Muftao. Stephen Mreku has been here. Sandrine has been here. Alaska B. Prince Braco did the Facebook encomiums. God willing, same time tomorrow. If you have time, we shall join you once again. Support came from my sense. Palmills Natural Mineral Water and Betika. Have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.